Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's Dungeon Run, the game. I'm RJ.
And I crave attention. Look at me! Ha ha!
I'm looking. Let's get to it.
Attention! Pay attention to me, give it to me. I feed on it. I become stronger. Ah! Welcome to Wednesday the 22nd of February. We're doing the board game Dungeon Run.
That's right. It's a Mr. Bistro game, and it's 2011. Here it is.
Aww.
So we have a game store called Mugu Games by us. So I was in there and I was looking for, just kind of Marvel stuff. I was doing some research for my card game, just looking at other stuff, and I came across Dungeon Run, which I had heard before from another review. And so I thought I'd pick it up. Looked fun. It's kind of a build your own game board kind of thing.
And that's I think what's really cool about it.
Well, and then also I was really intrigued because it says 1 to 6 players.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, a game you can play on your own, because there's not enough of those. I really want to figure out a way to do my card game solitary style.
So when you have absolutely no friends, you can play.
Like me. Because I make everybody offended or whatever.
He does.
I call them assholes and they leave me. Assholes. Okay, so this game is kind of your standard fantasy fare. It's like a dungeon crawler. I mean, like the people you get to pick from. You've got like the mage and the undead and the archer and the dwarf
and whatever.
Yeah. So, but having said that, it's fun. Everybody likes that. Everybody's used to that and familiar with it and pick it up. So you get these little game pieces and you get to choose your character, and you get to choose a card that goes with it. Mm-hmm. Ooh, you just want to jump right out. There's the... Oh, you can't see that really. Anyway, they're a little gray, and they're actually pretty decent. They're pretty good looking. There's not a whole lot of like bad seamage or anything really. It was put together smartly, artistically. And so anyway, you pick the corresponding card, and it has different stats. So some people are higher in magic, some people are higher in what do they call it? It's not might.
Brawl.
It's
brawl, is it? Like beefy brawlness?
Beefy brawl.
Beefiness. Yeah.
You get all these tokens you can level up. But yeah, magic, skill, and is it brawn? Brawn, yes. Brawn and then life. So you get all these. So you pick your character card, and it's got all the stats on there. Like, you probably can't really see it. And then it has like specials, and then when you reach the goal of the game, you get a special action on here. So it's all on the card. It's very simple to read. Having said that, we had to, definitely this is very necessary.
Yes.
Just so you get the hang of it, and then it's kind of like okay. And there's some rules we probably forgot or didn't always use consistently, but they do make an easy cheat sheet as far as the game pieces. And so how the game is played is you take a certain number of cards, certain number of these guys, which are they're tiles. They're like dungeon room tiles.
Yeah, they're room tiles.
You take a certain number, and per player, depending on how many people are playing, you shuffle them up, and then you put them face down. And what you do is you start with one tile, and then you flip over the next tile, and you start making this dungeon. So it's really cool. You make your own dungeon. The goal is to get all the tiles, depending on how many people are playing, get all the tiles played. And there are special tiles that have like special rewards.
Yeah, you have to do certain things to get through them.
Traps. Each tile has numbers of like die roll that if you roll the dice as soon as you put the tile out. If you roll a certain number, you get treasure and possibly an encounter.
Right, and those are regular tiles, not the special tiles. Right. The special tiles have like set things. So for this one, if you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you get a treasure. If you roll a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you get an encounter. Which means that as long as you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you get a treasure and an encounter. Encounter being, it could be
it's an
enemy
encounter card,
or a trap card.
Or it could also be a friend. I mean, it could be a possible friend, like another traveler or whatever. And so there's also the special tiles, like this is the well, and then so you read on the back of this what the well means.
Right.
And the well means that, you know, if you have treasure that you've gotten and not equipped, then you can throw it down the well and possibly get, you know, this special artifact.
Right.
Which will then help you in the go. And the goal of the game is to put down all the tiles and reveal the boss room. And then, of course, we've drawn one of the boss cards. I think there's 6 of them. You draw one of them and you put that, you know, down so nobody knows who it is. Although there is one ability that allows you to sneak a peek, so you can kind of plan ahead. But anyway, once you kill the boss, once you finally get the boss and you can kill the boss, then you have to make it out of the dungeon to win with the Summoner Stone.
Right.
But all the other players that could be friendly before and help you kill animals or, you know,
beasts and
encounters and whatever, now are turned against you, because whoever makes it out first with the Summoner Stone wins.
Then wins.
And then, of course, if you have the Summoner Stone and you're able to kill the other character, then you win.
But in addition to all that, the Summoner Stone also allows the player with it to place down encounter cards wherever they want. So they could put a beast here or whatever.
But then once they're in play, the other players can move them. Like every turn they can move them. So it really becomes like a strategy of, you know, I'm going to surround him with enemies so he has to fight one. And then during that, I'm going to sneak around, you know, and finish him off so I can get the Summoner Stone without dying and whatever. But there's different characters with different strengths. And so it does become, you know, how do I play? And it has a lot of chance. There's a lot of die rolling.
Yes, there is.
Which, you know, I thought my game was bad. I have a lot of die rolling in my card game that I'm making, which will be released at Comic-Con. Check it out online in about a month. And then, but this one has so much die rolling. It's like, you roll die and then you roll 4 die, and then it's crazy.
Yes.
But it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
It is. Roll dying has never been more fun in this game.
The hardest part, the honest to goodness, the hardest part is just remembering all the rules.
Yes.
And the first time you go through, because you're like, okay, I did this, what does that mean? And so you were like, where does it say? Unfortunately, the biggest criticism I can give is that there's no table of contents.
Right.
That would have been really helpful. And I actually thank you guys for not putting it in there, because now I know that I need to do it for my own thing. Because it would have been so much nicer to have a nice table of contents.
Because now you have now you have to scroll through every single thing, and then sometimes you might miss it because
and they're put wherever they thought would be logical, but they're not chronological as far as, you know, like what you encounter, because every game is different a little bit. So, and it's really was nice of them to think of this cheat sheet for the specialty tiles. But unfortunately, we still had to look up, like, what happens when you die? Well, I don't know. Okay, where is that? It's not like player death. I mean, it is eventually when you find it, but it's like the escape action. No, that's not it. Blocks. No, that's not it. Resolve. No, that's not it. You know, it's irritating. But again, they are well explained, for the most part, and they've got some fun little quips and, you know, whatnot to keep it lively while you're reading. So really, the best action is to read this fully through out loud before you start.
And even then, you're probably going to return to it, but at least you'll have a better idea.
But it is a really good game. It's the first game that I have played where you put down your own tiles like this. And I don't know how many there are, but
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's a great idea. It's very cleverly done, and there's enough range in characters to make everybody happy. Like I'm either the badass chick or like the drippy, darky thing. I hate being like the monk or the knight or whatever. I'm just not into that. I like something a little bit spicier. So anyway, comes with all the die you need and a whole bunch of tokens, and they're pretty good die. I didn't notice any weird rolling or anything. They look pretty well manufactured.
They're not loaded.
They're not loaded. At least he doesn't think they're loaded. And so they have made it so it's pretty easy to play between a whole bunch of you. I did play it by myself a little bit. I didn't get through the whole game because it's kind of silly. I mean, like it's nice to have that option. It really is. But it's like, okay, I'm dead. Well, then I guess I'm back alive again. You know what I mean? Like, there's no real penalty.
Right.
Unless there's some special, things that I missed on how to play it by yourself. I don't think so. But, I mean, that's what I'm doing with my card game is I'm making a special set of rules to make it much more interesting and much more dynamic. Because this one, it's just like, you just keep trying until you win, basically. That's all you're doing. So it's not strategy. It's just how much can I do quickly, whatever. It's just a matter of time before you win. So it's not like solitaire where you can get to a point where you just can't win.
Yeah, I think moving away from that, I think another huge problem with this is really just the packaging. They keep everything kind of loose, so if you're moving around, stuff gets shuffled
It
around.
doesn't have much of dividers or anything, and you do have to know. There's certain cards you have to separate out, so that means every time we play it, if we're not careful, we'll have to separate each one out.
And that bites.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it would be nice if they just included a couple extra bags or something.
Yeah,
but I understand,
just little dividers to keep
these.
separate.
This is not cheap. It's not cheap to do a die cut and then do your own graphics, and have this done. They basically come in big sheets that you then have to pop out of.
Mm-hmm.
But it all happened well, and nothing, didn't tear or anything.
Yeah, that's the worst is when the cover tears or something.
Yeah, and that's really fun. I mean, if you're into playing, board games, these sort of thing, and you want something a little bit different, I think this is great.
Absolutely.
It's not Dungeons and Dragons or whatever. It's.
I am hoping that they come out with A, more characters, and B, more tiles that you can,
yeah,
special
that would
tiles.
be cool. It would be super cool to have more specialty tiles, especially. Haha.
Specialty tile, yeah. Special tiles,
So
especially.
that's pretty much Dungeon Run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a pretty kick-ass game. I enjoyed it. When we played, it was entertaining.
Yeah, for sure. And it didn't take. It took the longest just to figure it out. The second time we played went pretty quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, good on ya. Good on ya, creators.
Mr. Bistro.
Mr. Bistro. So that's it. Dungeon Run. Thank you very much for watching. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube. Tell us what you think.
If you're going to Emerald City Comic Con, please let me know.
We'd love to have recommendations for more board games.
Absolutely.
I think we're going to get into that a little bit more.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fun and we're nerds. So.
Please comment. And remember, his game comes out during Comic Con, so buy it, please.
All right, guys.
Bye.
See you later. Oh, wow.
I think you knocked mine off.
We are like focused and neck here. Cheerio. I won the match. Coming up, the anime samurai shampoo. How long are you going to do this till you give up?
I'm not going to give up. Sometimes you just have to stick
What
to
if we get through like 1,000 episodes? What are you going to do? Like, I am blue,
I am blue.
I am purple.
Abu di, abu di. Right? What's that song? I think it's just called Blue.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know the song? I'm blue, abu di, abu di.
Do you want to do that?
Abu di, abu di. No, because I have no idea how it goes.
That totally sounds like something I'd listen to all the time.
Really?
No.
Yeah, because that song was so annoying. Like when it first came out, it's like I live in a blue house with a blue horse or something like that with a blue blah blah. I was like, what? I'm blue, abu di, abu di. It's like, what the fuck is going on? This stupid blue guy.
I don't know. Blue Man Group?
No, it definitely wasn't. Blue Man Group don't use words.
Smurfs.
Might have been.
I had the Smurfs record.
Smurfs had a record?
Yeah, it was awesome. Gargamel, Azrael, yeah.
Azrael?
And then, like, little Smurfette. I don't remember the lyrics, but yeah, I have it upstairs.
Why?
What do you mean? When I was a kid.
You still have stuff from when you were a kid? Wow. Really?
Yes. Who is this guy?
You, like
serious?
what is it, like a record or a cassette?
It's a record. I told you it was a record. I have Smurfs record, and I listen to it daily. It's my ringtone. The whole record.
Whole record is your.
You don't have things from when you were a kid? You're like looking at me like, every 10 years I burn everything I own.
Welcome to Wednesday the 22nd of February. We're doing the board game Dungeon Run.
That's right. A Mr. Bistro game, and it's from 2011. So in this game, it's kind of a neat, fun game. In fact, I should get it.
Yes, you should. In fact, we'll stop right now and wait. That wasn't Chinese. I guess it was. I was just making noises. It came out accidentally. Maybe I'm turning Japanese. You ever think about that? I know, but there's no song about turning Chinese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I said I think I'm turning Japanese.